It is Labor Day weekend, and it is often considered the unofficial end to summer, and it's set to be a very busy travel time as many are going to take advantage of that nice weather that we're expected to have, and of course that day off on Monday. We have Ryan Adcock from AAA Tidewater with us this morning, hanging out with us in the early hours, which we've been checking in with Marta to see what the traffic looks like. So for people who are heading out, they're trying to make those last-minute plans. What time do they need to hit the road to beat the traffic?
Absolutely. So earlier is better as we persist into the afternoon and early evening, and even later into the evening, we're going to see that traffic start to build up with people that are leaving for their Labor Day destinations start to mix in with that after-work commuter traffic. So really just planning ahead so that if you need to get to somewhere by a certain time, that you get there by that time.
Now, is it better to leave today, or should I just wait until tomorrow?
So we are actually forecasting that tomorrow is going to be a very, very busy day as well for people that are taking those day trips and not necessarily utilizing the whole long weekend. So if you're leaving tomorrow, definitely on the early side, we're forecasting that traffic is going to start to build up around 10 and will go on until 5, 6 p.m. in the evening. So really on either bookend of that time is when we're suggesting if you're leaving tomorrow when you should travel.
You know, Ryan, it seems like each year since we were in the pandemic that travel for holidays like this one has kind of increased every single year. Are we seeing that trend for this Labor Day weekend?
Absolutely. So for our Memorial Day and July 4th travel forecast, we saw record-breaking travel numbers from even 2019, which is kind of our benchmark for when we're predicting and forecasting. Record-breaking from 2019. So coming back from that pandemic when all of that travel was really decreased and taken away from people, we are really seeing people flock to wherever they want to go and really take to traveling.
Now, people coming back, right? I know we haven't even gotten on the road yet for the travel, but what's the best time and day for them to try to travel back into Hampton Roads?
Absolutely. So same story for coming back on Monday. We're going to see that afternoon into that early evening time be a time of congestion out there on the road. So really coming back earlier in the morning or waiting until later in the day to come back to have a little bit less traffic.
Now, earlier we talked about distracted driving, and for people not to do that, put away your phones, don't be looking everywhere in the back seat, those kind of things. But is there anything that people often don't think about could count as being distracted when they're on the road that you all often want people to think about?
Absolutely. So your passengers can be a big distraction when you're out there on the road, whether it be a person yapping there in the passenger seat beside you or even kids in the back seat. So really just making sure that everyone has something to occupy themselves with and that they're not occupying their time talking to you and distracting you from the task at hand, which is driving, so that everyone can get to where they're going safely.
Tell the people in the back, bring a book.
Yep, there you
Something
go.
of that nature. And then also remember, we have the new law in Virginia now that everybody in the car has to wear a seatbelt too. So if you're going to be driving, that wasn't always the case. Now everyone does. Anything else that you have for people to think about as they're heading out the door?
Absolutely. Just making sure that we're keeping 100% of our mental and physical energy on the task at hand, which is driving and getting to where we're going safely, so that everyone, not just yourselves, but everyone out there on the road, whether they be on the road or the side of the road, can get to where they're going alive.
And then what are we seeing about gas prices, too? I mean, people are going to have to be filling up the pump.
Absolutely. So we are seeing gas prices down from Labor Day last year. So definitely a little bit more relief at the pump than we saw Labor Day last year.
All right, that's good news to hear, because I know I'll be filling up my tank. You can see it there, right there. Looks like National 321. Virginia and Hampton Roads underneath that at a 3.03 and 3.11. So go ahead and do that now, because Ryan said you need to get out the door if you want to beat that traffic.
Absolutely.
Ryan, thanks so much for kicking it with us this morning, and hopefully people have a great and safe holiday weekend.